I've grown up in Salem. I grew up in the south end of town, so I went to Sprague High School and played there. I went to Linfield College, did not play football there, but watched a lot of really good football teams. Played a little golf in college, and then I moved into coaching when I came back to Oregon after I was in Japan for 4 years. I've been coaching for 30 years now. I started at Amity High School and was there for 10 years. And then went over to Blanchette Catholic School in Salem, started a program there, was there for 6 years, and then moved to North Salem High School where I was a teacher at that time, so it was a pretty easy transition for me. I'm a Japanese teacher, have been for 30 years, a little bit different than most head football coaches, but I'm the head football coach, head golf coach, been head football coach there for 15 years. Koko ni kite koto o sugoku ureshii desu. I went over to Japan as a graduate student. I got my master's in public administration there, studied international relations, and then I was a commodity broker over there for 2 years. And after 4 years living across the ocean, I felt it was time to come home. And my dad was a football coach at Judson Middle School in Salem, and as soon as I got home, he was coaching his last season. I decided to coach a little bit with him and kind of fell in love with that. And a couple years later, I got the job at Amity, and then pursued a career in teaching, and the Japanese thing kind of fit. So that's how my career started, and 30 years later, I'm still doing it. I had the opportunity to coach this 21 years ago in 2001, and it was one of the most incredible experiences that I had as a coach. And I was a 10-year coach at that point. So I coached with George Crace from Wilsonville High School and Tim France from NISA, and we just had a great experience. I learned a lot. I really got, it was really impactful for me as a coach, seeing the Shrine Hospital and seeing what this game does for raising money for that and for those kids. It's unfortunate that we don't get to take the kids there anymore, because that was a really meaningful experience for those kids and myself as a coach. I still keep in touch with some of those kids I got to coach that week. Been to a couple of their weddings. It's been a really important part of my career. Then I moved on to 6A about 15 years ago, and didn't seem like I was ever going to come up again. And North Salem dropped down to 5A, and still 5A was not a part of this game until the last year or so. And I got a call asking if I'd be interested, and I jumped on it almost immediately. My daughter's getting married next week, so I did have to get permission from her to be able to be away this week. So that's how it happened this time. Sean McNabb is a coach I've always wanted to coach with. Back in late 90s, early 2000s, we both had some really good teams. We were at different levels. He was at Scappoose and I was at Amity, and he was coaching Derek Anderson, and we watched a couple of their games because our games were back-to-back in the state playoffs. So I always thought he's just a brilliant offensive mind. I got to play against him this year for the first time, and really appreciate what he does with his team, with his offense, and so really fortunate to be able to coach with him. And then Jeff Taylor and Jacob Peterson are younger coaches, but coaches that one of them coaches at Dayton, our big rival, back when I was at Amity, and we have a lot of common acquaintances. So it's been great getting to know those guys, and I'm learning a lot even at this age. So in the high school experience, we really try to build team, and it takes a while, and you get kids to know each other over a period of a year or a season or 2 or 3 years. These kids have to do it in 6 days, but we're in day 3 now, and they're already developing that team feeling, that camaraderie that we want to build in a kind of a family atmosphere on the team. And so it's really cool to see these kids come in with great attitudes. You don't really have to coach them how to play football. You just adapt what they already know, their skills, to a new scheme, and I think they're really enjoying that opportunity to just continue their football careers and play at a high level. So it's been really fun. We don't have as many kids that are playing here that are going to go on and play at college. Just the way that the college season has kind of moved back towards when this game happens, it's put a lot of those college kids away at college already. So we've relied on a lot of kids that are not going to continue their playing career. So the game becomes a little bit more meaningful when it's your last one. So we're looking forward to seeing what that does for these kids this week. They're going to be pretty excited. I think we want to make sure kids have a positive experience, and that starts with getting time being put in a position that they're comfortable. We really don't want to get kids out there where they don't know what they're doing. So that's what this week is for, making sure that they're comfortable in the things they're doing. Second, get them on the field as much as we can. Kids that want to practice come over to Eastern Oregon and play 3 plays. So our rosters are a little bit smaller this year than they were when I was here before, so probably a little easier to get kids playing time. And then to compete at a high level and win the ball game. That's what we're here for. So ultimately, that's what the kids want. That's what we want as coaches. But we're going to have a great experience regardless.